Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here, and I am back again with a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. As always, real quick, I would like to thank anyone and everyone who watched my previous videos, who subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so for more tech videos. So yeah, if you want to follow me outside of YouTube, go ahead and follow me on Snapchat. I'll leave an annotation link somewhere here, one in the description. I'll follow you back, but yeah, so let's begin. Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing the LG Stylo 3 Plus, and really the way to review this phone is by looking back at my previous video, which I did as the LG Stylo 3 review, and here are the main differences between the Stylo 3 and the Stylo 3 Plus. First of all, you're looking at it. This display, man, this display is absolutely incredible. It's a 1080p IPS panel, so it's both quality and resolution. So I've talked about big phones that they should have the optimal resolution for them, and the 1080p panel on this phone does not disappoint at all. The only downside that I have about this, and I think this is just me, it's nitpicking, I wish it was just a little bit brighter for outdoor situations. It's visible outdoor to some degree, but for IPS panel, I think it could have been just a little bit brighter, but that's fine. That's besides the point. This display is absolutely incredible, and it's my favorite part about this phone as a whole. Now, in terms of design, if you look at the standard Stylo 3 and this, there's not a lot of differences. The real difference in the design department is really just the finish and the shiny LG logo here, and I like this finish better than the standard LG Stylo 3. In my opinion, I think it looks better, and it just gives it a better look. Okay, so in terms of price, this phone comes in at $180 compared to the standard Stylo 3, which comes in at $150. And I'll tell you what you get in the extra $30, but let's continue on with this review. So the back camera is a 13 megapixel sensor with a LED flash, and the front facing camera is a 5 megapixel with an LED flash. Now, okay, so let me walk you quickly through the camera interface. It's really simplistic. It's fast at taking pictures, as you guys can see, and it handles pictures pretty well in a good lighting condition. Now, there is a lack of poor dynamic range, and if you watched my standard Stylo 3 review, you'll find the sample photos there. And in terms of picture quality, they're pretty similar. I think the Stylo 3 can pull a slightly better image to my eyes, but that's subjective. The quality of the image between the Stylo 3 Plus and the standard Stylo 3 are about the same. Like I said, I would say that the Stylo 3 Plus pulls out a bit of a better picture. In terms of low light, this phone it can't keep up in low light, and I guess that goes for pretty much any phone in this price point, or even flagships nowadays. They can do a better job, but still, low light situations has been a struggle for pretty much all smartphones, whether it's a flagship or a budget device. Okay, so that's a bit about the camera. Now, in terms of features that this phone has, two main features in my opinion. One, the fingerprint sensor, and the fingerprint sensor here is respectable. It's responsive and it's fast. I like it. I like having a fingerprint sensor on a phone now. I don't know how I would live without it. But yeah, so the other feature that this phone has that not a lot of phones have anymore is the ability to use a stylus. Now, whether you like a stylus or not, that's up to you, but I mean, it's there if you need it, especially when you have this incredible, gorgeous 1080p panel. So you can do a lot of things. You can do something like pop-up memo, which lets you just go ahead and scribble quick notes. You can also do Capture Plus. You can do a GIF capture, where you just capture a video and it'll make it into a GIF mode, however you want to pronounce it. And there's also a pop lens, which is pretty much just zooms in on the you just zoom in on the display, which is pretty cool, and it comes in handy for some people. And you can also add other features. You have all these different features. You can add shortcuts and things like that, and it comes in handy sometimes. I'm not really a stylus person, but like I said, I mean, it's just an additional feature, and it's there and it works. So that's a pretty cool feature. And the really cool thing about this design is that the stylus is pretty well hidden. You can't tell that this phone has a stylus unless you know that this is the LG Stylo 3 Plus. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the battery. And the battery on here is pretty good. It's a 3080 milliamp hour battery. Now it's not the best battery out there, but again, it's not really the worst. And let me tell you, this phone comfortably lasts throughout the whole day, but I wouldn't push it past that. So the other cool feature that this phone has, that I haven't seen on a budget phone or a phone that costs $180 or less, is that this phone is actually equipped with a quick charge 2.0, and it's a really nice feature to have. So you can forget to charge this phone, wake up the next morning, you can put it on the charger for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you already have a half a day worth of charge. Pretty cool. And I wish more, so I hope in the future more budget phones can adapt this technology. So really nice to have. So the performance on this phone has been pretty smooth. Opening up apps and closing them is pretty fast and it's pretty responsive. This phone comes equipped with a 1.4 GHz octa-core processor and 2 GB of RAM. And 2 GB of RAM might not seem like a lot, but I think for a phone that costs this much, I think it should be more than enough. Now in terms of gaming, this phone is usable. If you like to play heavy games, I wouldn't kind of recommend it. It's good. If you're a real gamer, then you will definitely see frame drops, but it's nothing major. I think this phone is pretty solid in terms of gaming. Not the best out there, but not the worst. So, okay, one of the other cool things about this phone, the Stylo 3 Plus, that the standard Stylo 3 doesn't have, is 32 GB of onboard storage. It's expandable via micro SD card, but the ability to have 32 GB right out of the box is pretty cool, and I wish more budget phones would do that. Okay, now the letdowns of this phone are the following: the buttons on the sides. The volume buttons are kind of mushy to me. They're not really that tactile. I wish they were just a little bit more tactile. It would have been better. The other thing, the other gripe that I have about this phone is the backward facing speaker. It's loud, but it's easily covered up by the it can be easily covered up. So let's increase the brightness, and it is as high as it goes. Like I said, I wish this phone could have been just a little bit brighter. And let's play the video and I'll show you. Let's take up the volume as loud as we can, and it is. And okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you guys cannot hear so you can see that these speakers get covered up really easily. Alright, so like I said, the speakers do get loud, they just get muffled, and you can block them really easily. So overall, I think this phone is a solid option, and it's better than the standard Stylo 3. And for $30 more, here's what you get. So let's put it down and I'll tell you the extra features that you get. So first up, more storage. Second, you get quick charge 2.0. Third, you get a much better display, especially on a phone this size. In terms of quality, they're pretty similar, but the resolution on here is on point. Camera is about the same, but I think for $30 extra than the standard Stylo 3, this is a phone that is worth it. And you also get quick charge 2.0. And if I were to do a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, here's how I would rate this phone. So the display quality is 9 out of 10. Like I said, I wish it was just a bit brighter. In terms of performance, it gets a solid 8. It's a pretty good, solid performing device. Other than the fact that gaming on it might be a hit or miss, depending on what type of games you like to play on your phone. In terms of design, I really like the design of this phone. This phone looks really nice. Again, it's not a perfect piece of hardware, but the buttons on the volume buttons are a bit mushy. And in terms of design, I gave it an 8.5. So in terms of camera, the camera in good lighting conditions is decent. It's not the best budget camera out there. Now you might be thinking to yourself, like, it's a 13 megapixel camera, it must be a really good camera. Megapixels does not mean anything in the smartphone world anymore. It's resolution, yeah, it has good resolution, but in terms of picture quality, it's pretty decent in a good lighting environment. So it definitely, I would definitely give it a 7.5. So overall, this phone gets 8 out of 10. Solid device. The price is on point for what you get. I think you get, it's definitely worth the $180. You get a nice display, quick charge, reasonable size battery, decent camera, decent performance, so solid option. Okay, so let's end it here. I want to thank you all so much for watching this review. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.